The first thing that you need to do is make sure that you have a hard copy of the document that was emailed to you. It looks like this. It says Map Testing Checklist at the top. This has a checklist of items that we're going to follow throughout the professional development here today. And Mr. Spots gave us this, and I'll just say that he does a really good job of taking us through the steps that we need to take before and on test day. So it has a couple sheets of steps here, and then the third page is for the kids, and what you would do is print this out, make copies of it. There are 3 of these to a sheet, so make enough copies for your kids that you're testing. The idea here is that they write their name and the date, and this is their sheet that they keep at their desk to write down their score after each test. So they raise their hand. When they're done, they keep their score on their screen until you see it. You watch them write down their score, and then after they write down their score, you write down their score on this sheet. So this is your sheet that you keep, and just take on a clipboard and carry around to keep track of their score. So again, they raise their hand. When their screen comes up and says their test is over and shows their score, they write down their score on this sheet. You write down their score on your own sheet. And then at the very end, when you're done with all of the tests, you can collect their sheet from them, just so you have it, and then you'll also have your completed sheet right here. So again, if you haven't already, I'd like you to have these 2 pages, the first 2 pages printed out, the checklist steps that we're going to follow, because I have those in my hand right now, and once we get to the NWEA website, those are the steps that I'm going to follow. So again, you can pause this at any time. Now would be a good time to pause if you don't have these steps right by you. Print them out so that you can follow as we go along. I'll go ahead and go on over to the NWEA website right here, and it's simply www.nwea.org, and we're going to click on Logins up here at the top right, and we're going to go to Map Login on the left hand side. So then it asks for your username and password, and I believe everyone was sent directions in the email to make sure that you're able to log on today, so hopefully you've done that. Again, if you haven't, you'll need to get your correct information. When my automatic information comes up here, it comes up with .com, and I need to log in with .org, so I'm going to change that, and hopefully this works. Alright, I'm in. So now once I'm to this point, that was 1A, log in to the NWEA website, and it says to change your password, so hopefully everybody's logged in. As long as you're logged in and to this point, we should be ready to move on to 1B, which says click Manage Test Sessions. That's right here on the left hand side. So I will click Manage Test Sessions. And right here it says Test My Class. Now, one thing that I need to tell everybody right now is that I had my old tests from last year under Saved Testing Sessions. So you'll need to click on Saved Testing Sessions. And when I went to title my tests, like we're instructed to do in the list, I had titled it exactly the same as last year, so it said I needed to title it something different. So I had to go back to last year's, which was Spring 2014-15. So everybody needs to do this right now. Just go ahead and click on Saved Testing Sessions here. Scroll down, and you will see Spring 2014-15. Nothing comes up for me now, but if you see tests that come up for you right here, just click on them and go ahead and delete session. So click on all of them and delete that session. Some of you may have them saved from last year, and you'll need to delete those so they don't match the same title that you're going to title them here in just a little bit. So after you've done that, you can hide that again. And we're going to go back to the directions, and on the directions I should be at 1C, which say click Test My Class, and then it says select class that says period 1 and click Test Now. So at the high school, the way they have it set up is that period 1 should be after our classes. We have all of our other class lists here. We need to click on the one that says period 1 after it. We're going to do that every time that we are making a new test. So I'm going to check that. Click Test Now. Now I'm ready for 1D. Select Status and click All. Right here is Select Status. Click All. I'm ready for 1E, which says click on Assign Test. And then it comes up and you have a drop-down menu to choose from. 1E says to choose Map Math 6 Plus, and you need to be very careful which one you choose here. So follow the directions on the checklist here, which say Map Math 6 Plus. There's a Map Math 2 through 5. You don't want to select that one. You want to select Map Math 6 Plus. These say Survey down here. Again, don't get confused. Map Math 6 Plus. Click. Now I'm going to assign it to all my first period students. So it is assigned now. Now I'm going to click End Testing Session. That's under 1F, End Testing Session. And now here's where I need to name it. 1G says under Testing Session Name, you will rename it your last name in math. So mine would be Erickson Math. And then it says to click Save and Exit. It is 1H. Alright, so now if I click on Saved Testing Sessions, I make sure that I'm in Fall 2015-16, and there's my saved testing session for math. Right, so I can hide that again. I'm going to follow those exact same directions to set up my science, reading, and language sessions. So again, Test My Class. I click the same period from last time. It says period 1 after it. Test Now. Again, I'm just going to follow the directions. I'm at 1D, select Status, click All. Then I'm going to click on Assign Test. Now I need to set up my science test, which it says repeat steps D through H above for Map General Science. So now I'm looking for Map General Science. Right there. Map General Science. I click on Assign. And then I'm ready to click End Testing Session. Again, I'm going to title it, this is the science test, so Erickson Science. Save and exit. And now again it should show up in my saved testing sessions. I have my math and science set up. I'm ready to set up my next test, which is reading. So again, I clicked on Test My Class, period 1. Test Now. Alright, I'm going to go to Select Status, All, Assign Test. And again, if I go back to my sheet, it says for the reading, it's Map Reading 6 Plus. So again, don't get confused with 2 through 5. Map Reading 6 Plus, not Survey. Map Reading 6 Plus. Assign. And now it's set up. End testing session. I'm going to title this one Erickson Reading. Save and exit. Again, if I've done it correctly, I see all three of them right there. Go back to test my class, do my last one here. Again, select the same class. Click test now. I'm going to select status, select all, assign test. This is language, map language 2 through 12. That's what my sheet says. Map language 2 through 12. And assign. I'm going to end my testing session and title this Erickson Language. Save and exit. Alright, so now I have all 4 testing sessions set up and ready to go. And that's all we need to do prior to the test. So now we're going to pretend like it's test day, so I'm ready to move on to section 2 of the directions. They're titled Test Day, Proctoring the Test, Read Student Introduction to Map Testing, Quick Reference. So, 2A says, during first period at the high school, we're going to select the math test and click Test Now. So you'll want to have done this before your kids even come in the room. So you may want to write that down by the side. Just do this before the kids come into the room. Go ahead and click on Erickson Math. And I'm going to click on Test Now. So again, this is the day of the test. The kids are in, and you need to make sure that you write on the board so that they can log in your session name that they'll need to type in and their password that they'll need. Now mine is 8475. Every password for every teacher and every test will be different. It won't all be the same, so there's no need for you to write down my password there. Alright, so if I go back to my directions, I've written down the test session name on the board and my session password. So the kids are going to log into their computers, so you just ask them to log in. They'll have an icon on their computers that they click on, and then they put in your session name and the password, and then they wait for you to confirm them, which is step C. So it says right here, awaiting student, and as they sign in, it will change over right here, and I have no kids signing in right now, so you won't be able to see this, but it'll change over and it will say to be confirmed. Alright, so their status will change from awaiting student to be confirmed, and what you'll need to do every so often will be to click on confirm now. So it says that in directions 2D. It says select confirm now to put students in the test. You may have to refresh status and confirm again to get everyone. So the refresh status button is here. You can just keep clicking that. You can do that every 5 seconds if you want to. Refresh status, confirm now. So you just keep doing that until you have everybody changed over to testing. So once you confirm them, they'll start testing and they'll change from to be confirmed to testing. Alright, so you keep refreshing status, confirm now until you see your entire group testing. Once they begin testing, you'll be able to keep track of where they are on the test. Right here, it will, if you just refresh status every once in a while, you'll be able to keep track of where they are during the test. Alright, so 2E says they'll begin the test. 2F says as students complete the test, they will raise their hands and you will write down their score on the test page. And if you remember, 2E is what I'm talking about here on the Word document.